Fox News alert, 11 House Republicans now calling for a criminal investigation of fired FBI Director James Comey, Hillary Clinton, and several former and current members of the FBI and Justice Department. Those GOP congressmen are alleging potential violations of the law in the run-up to the appointment of a special counsel in the Russia investigation and the DOJ's handling of the Clinton email probe. The letter to Attorney General Jeff Sessions reads in part, quote, "We are especially mindful of the dissimilar degrees of zealousness that has marked the investigations into former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and the campaign of Donald Trump, respectively. Because we believe that those in positions of high authority should be treated the same as every other American, we want to be sure that the potential violations of the law outlined below are vetted appropriately." Comey being asked about it just a short time ago on ABC's The View.
I haven't read it. I don't know what to make of it. It seems they've been saying that stuff since the Clinton email investigation. A whole lot of that's already being looked at by the Inspector General at the Department of Justice, which is a very good thing. And I don't have any other reaction.
Okay.
The accusations are not true. I guess I should have said that first, but that's okay.
So, Kennedy, this is the former FBI Director James Comey, who also said that the Deputy FBI Director Andrew McCabe was an honorable, honest man. Where are we with the accountability factor here?
Well, you know, and James Comey has laid out his criteria for what is punishable if you work for the FBI. Andrew McCabe has violated that criteria. So, you know, in his estimation, Andrew McCabe should have been fired. Even if he doesn't overtly say that, he knew exactly what Andrew McCabe was doing. He knew exactly what he was leaking. He probably ordered a lot of that information to be leaked. And that makes him a hypocrite. But the problem for him is he's testified.
Right.
And, you know, what has he told Congress? What statements has he made in public that contradict each other? And now you have not only Republicans who feel that his hypocrisy and his hubris and his narcissism has launched this investigation. You have a lot of Democrats who feel absolutely betrayed by this person who put themselves at the center as the moral authority of the presidential race and therefore had a great deal of influence on the outcome.
Right. I want to play this clip from former Hillary Clinton campaign chairman John Podesta, and then I want to get Richard's reaction.
I've never attacked Mr. Comey for trying to do something that was for a partisan reason. I think it was to some extent, his arrogance that led him to make a very bad error of judgment. I thought he was an idiot in the context of this election, and that it was influential in the outcome.
Are you going to read this book?
I don't think so.
You think Hillary Clinton will read this book?
I doubt it.
Should read it. She has lots of spare time in her hands. But Richard, you know, James Comey is having a hard time finding any friends on either side of the aisle. But my question for you is, are Democrats actually interested in accountability at the FBI, or are they going to continue to play this politically?
Oh, no, I think Democrats are interested in accountability, which is why we, you know, worked with the president to approve a new FBI director. But I think there's some dramatic irony here that even though President Trump and Hillary Clinton absolutely can't stand each other, the one thing they agree on is they both hate James Comey.
And he would have been fired either way, right?
Yeah, exactly. He would have been fired. Exactly. He would have been the unemployment line either way. And I think if they were to sit down for a cup of coffee, the two of them would be like, well, let's talk about how much we both hate James Comey.
Is that the only thing they could get their hands on together? Lisa, how do you feel about it?
Well, I think James Comey is actually doing himself a great disservice, as well as the FBI. And I think he's really creating a liability for himself, because I think people are giving more attention to things that he previously said under sworn testimony before Congress. And Kennedy, you had briefly mentioned, you know, the contradictions. We're seeing this play out, not only contradictions between McCabe and James Comey, according to the Inspector General report, also contradictions between what James Comey is saying, Loretta Lynch as well. And so now there's questions about who's actually telling the truth in all of this. And I think people are going to want to get to the bottom of it.
To something that Richard said just a moment ago, because I've got Lanny Davis on next hour. And, you know, Democrats are expressing this thought that, you know, Comey didn't tell the truth in some instances, and now they have what you're talking about, a document that they can compare to previous things he said. Yeah, I would imagine that James Comey would be something that Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump could agree on. And I agree with Kennedy. They both would have fired him, which is why I think it's so disingenuous for some Democrats to say that it's obstruction of justice and it's to plant those flags and those seeds against this president as political enemies, because James Comey was only his own friend. I mean, he looks in the mirror and he sees two James Comeys.
Well,
and he likes both of them.
Well, and the Democrats are obviously going to play this card about obstruction of justice now because it's politically expedient. I mean, you go back to the election, and you had people like Harry Reid, who was the minority leader, saying on record that James Comey violated the Hatch Act, right? So now Democrats are going to embrace this theme of being pro-Comey
and also,
because it's
let's
politically
not forget that
expedient
Mark Meadows has just asked Trey Gowdy to take a much closer look at those struck page texts.
And what Trey
I know
Gowdy
we're going to discuss that later in the show.
And what Trey Gowdy said in the interview was that I think it should be handled by the IG, but I think you have to parse
here's the thing.
what James Comey's doing with what's happening in the Mueller investigation. Because what the Mueller investigation has found is you found a former national security advisor.
Is irrelevant to what James
wait a minute
Comey
now.
was
I think
talking
I think you're right. I think they're absolutely irrelevant.
Right.
And I think what the Mueller investigation has found is they're completely different. And I think to put them together is a mistake.
Well, accountability is important, or it will happen again.